Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another weekly market forecast edition with Yemi Olaleye. I'm a market analyst at FX Pro, and this weekly market forecast, which covers for 27th of July to 31st of July 2026. Starting from the fundamental outlook, let's take a quick look at the high impact news we have for this week before we move into the technical perspective. On the high impact news on Monday, we have none. On Tuesday, we have just one on AUD US dollar as RBA Governor Bullock will be speaking. On Wednesday, we have 2:30 a.m. Nigerian time on AUD again. We have 7 p.m. for US dollar, which is the federal funds rate and FOMC statement. And also 7:30 p.m. Nigerian time, we have US dollar coming up with the FOMC press conference. On Thursday, we have GBP pounds and US dollar taking the entire ground. 12 p.m. Nigerian time, GBP pounds comes up with the BOE monetary policy report and MPC official bank rate vote. US dollar comes up 1:30 p.m. with advanced GDP and core PCE price index monthly by monthly. And on Friday, tentatively, we have JPY coming up with the BOJ policy rate, monetary policy statements, and BOJ press conference also coming up that same time. And 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, Canadian dollar comes up with the GDP monthly by monthly. With all of that are the high impact news that we have for this week, and those are the little highlights we have on them all. Quickly, we move into the technical part of the business now, and let's see the opportunities we have in the market. And before we proceed, last week was a good one for us in the community because not all the trades went absolutely as long as we expected, but briefly in and out, we had some fantastic move across some assets, and it was a great week that we recorded profit. Starting with the DXY, you already know our look on this one, but in case you're seeing this for the very first time, do it to subscribe to this channel so you can always have first-hand information about the market updates anytime I post that. On the weekly time frame perspective, therefore, we have our impact momentum for bullish ride on this one till the price gets to 104, around 104.21 thereabouts. And currently, we're looking for more bullish momentum overall on the weekly time frame perspective when it comes to the XY. On the daily time frame perspective as well, we're looking at this from this outlook alone. We're saying that we still need more bullish momentum to push the price into this level. However, it won't be completed if we do not talk about the previous high structure, which was created around this price level here. And we expect the price to actually get above it. If the price is able to move just above this level right here, that means we should be expecting the price to move more into the weekly zone before we have that sell coming up later on. But if the price is not taking out this previous size structure right here, that means we might be having more sell momentum obeying our 4-hour time frame perspective. And here is the 4-hour time frame perspective which we have. Look at this. This is a massive bullish struggle to the upside, and really we want to see the price coming back into such a beautiful range. Yes, for now this level look more like it's too old or too far from the market to come into. However, I don't want to have multiple stuff on my chart. So right here, immediate level, which I may be looking at right, will be changing. I will be seeing this level right here, which is a good zone to expect the price momentum to visit. And if this level is not holding for long, of course, yes, that means we're going to expect more bearish momentum on the XY as it falls further and harder to the price gets in here. So this level right here, as we tap into, you already know my point on that. I wanted the price to move into here and give me straight movement, but no, that didn't happen. So yeah, I'll be expecting if this is not going to happen, holding price, if we have more bearish momentum here, I want to see the price break here. They'll be expecting the price to really come to this our old time zone right here. That is for the XY. Quickly, we move into the Euro US dollar on the weekly time frame perspective. You know our buyers already. We're looking for sell and it's looking bearish massively. Last week candle was a massive bearish candle, which you can see from here. On the daily time frame, what we're looking for is not different from that. Just a little bit of inversion of the DXY. Look at this low. If we're taking out this low, that means we have more probability of swinging straight down into the weekly level, which is about 150 pips on average. If you go to the daily time frame perspective on Euro US dollar, we still have this wonderful zone sitting just right here, and this zone looks a bit farther based on what the price has shown. And after this inducement we are there, the next level we have opportunity looks more like here, and that is also another beautiful point to expect the market to work with. So basically, if I'm going to be reacting with that based on what DXY is saying, if that level looks clean enough, then I would be waiting for more sell right here. So opportunities are just above here. We have two sitting just above this level, and I'll be waiting to see reaction of that zone. The little bit of stop loss tight one right there, and this is my projection on EURUSD for this week. I'll be expecting more buy into this level before we sell up. I know this is on higher time frame, but I want to see the buy before the sell because we are much more in a bearish momentum for a while and much of ranging for a longer time. So I want to see the price clearing some liquidity before moving into our direction already. All right, that is that on the Euro US dollar. Without wasting time, let's move straight into the GBP pounds USD. On the weekly time frame perspective, what do we have on the weekly perspective? We have more momentum for a sell too. Look at where we're looking at on a sell level. So we're expecting the price to still dump more, about 700 pips. That may not be up to the end of this year. Well, that's higher time frame perspective for you. Daily time frame perspective, what do we have? Something similar. We've seen the price mitigating around areas before now. We've seen the entire contest right here. We're still expecting this load to be taken out. So the current market price, we are talking about 315 pips, and then I still expect more bearish momentum overall. But so for our time frame, what exactly do we have on GBP pounds US dollar? Just like the Euro USD, this level looks clean for me, where I can be looking for the price to actually come into and give me more opportunity for a sell. But that might be looking just like it's looking too far away from the current market level. So immediate level I can still be looking out for on intraday opportunity is sitting right above here, which is just around this level right here, and that is around 1.3392. So overall, I can be waiting to see the price reaction of this zone for me to see an opportunity to sell off at that level. So what happens to the zone I have above? I can always shift that, preferably depending on how the market moves. Sometimes this week I may actually delete this order and I'm going to wait again. But regardless, you know what market is all about patience. So for this week, I want to see the price actually still move in here to give us sell on intraday level. And peradventure, if it falls harder on the XY, that means we'll be expecting this to actually still play out because we have zones at that zone too. So if that will be happening, that means we'll be expecting the price to move this way and then to give us that overall momentum from here, give us that sell and take out that previous low structure right there. So that'll be the projection going forward for this week. But of course, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it out here this way. Don't forget to see the parameters and understand how it works. Don't risk more than what you can afford to lose, and that is exactly how you're going to be a profitable trader. So if I take this out for a minute, this is what you'll be having on GBP pounds US dollar. So without further ado, let's move straight into the next guy. And this, I'm going to take it back so it can be there for record's sake, all right? So I don't do after the fact. I show you what I'm looking at before the market plays out. So on the AUD US dollar, this has already made there. I talked about it multiple times. On weekly time frame perspective, I have an idea which I've shared before now. Yeah, I have a sell momentum sitting just right here below the current market price. And if I do something like this, you're going to see where it's sitting. So with that, I believe you'll see where I'm looking at. On the daily time frame perspective, nothing really though, nothing really on daily. See, I want to see the price just doing that plenty annoying movement to the upside, following a channel, then move down again, splash it all to the price gets here on 4 hour time frame perspective, which is my preferred level to look at this market from. Honestly, I'm seeing two zones right here. This is much of a confusion right now. This is one which I'm expecting the price to actually get into this level and give us sell momentum. That is one. Two, we have another zone sitting just below where we can also have a very smooth bullish opportunity sitting right there. And at this level, we can actually still see reaction of the market coming back in the nearest future to fill around this level to give us a buy momentum. So honestly speaking, this is a good one. At the same time, we have to be careful because we have zones above and below, and with this we are sitting just in the middle point of that. And if you see the entire contest from this price level to this price level swing low, we are just around that level at some point, around 75% of it. Then we are back to somewhere around 50% right now, and this is where we're sitting. So honestly speaking, if I will tell you, I will wait and see the price get into any of these zones before we actually move. So if the price doesn't move, I won't move. And if you want to move ahead of price, you're welcome, but it's not advisable. Please just wait, see the market clearly before you shoot. All right, that is AUD US dollar for you. And quickly on the NZD US dollar, what do we have? I thought about this last week that I will be expecting this level to be taken out too, so we can have the price coming to a premium level around here before we have a sell. Currently, what price is doing is just amazing, seeing it on different perspective, reaction, back and forth. But I will be waiting, just like I have on the other guys. Let's see the reaction of the price eventually. If it gets here, that's why I couldn't hold it more. Then that means we're going to see this guy actually fall into a price level like this. And then let's see how that goes. For now, this is what we have on this. At the same time, I deleted the last one because if the price is going to move there, we'll talk about it when the market opens. But for now, I just want less noise on my charts, and this is exactly what I mean. So, yeah, I'll be waiting to see the price actually hitting a buy momentum to this level before we see a brief sell opportunity. It could be as little as 1:2. No, sorry, my stop loss are always tight, so I barely do 1:2 with that kind of stop loss because I'm talking about 10 pips or 15 pips, 20 pips, sometimes lesser. So can actually still see market reaction doing something like this, and this is about 1:6. If I reduce that, still 1:5.7. But regardless, that's not what it matters. What matters is your opportunities that you can see in the market and take advantage of. So let's see how this goes for this week. This is NZD US dollar. Quickly on the USD CAD, what do we have on the weekly time frame perspective? Let's see it together. The price is actually sitting right above here, where we talk about before now that we want to see the price hitting that demand zone on that time frame. Also, we talked about it on the daily time frame perspective because we know that we're still going to buy more of USD CAD so long the SY is strong enough. And with that information, we're already looking for more buys and the price gets to this dotted line ever since the beginning of this year, and it has been really amazing. So far, so well. Well, what we're looking at of the price is there's a very strong bullish momentum right there. LD, so LD, no point in time the price was leaving any step backward to fill in before buying again. Apart from here, we have one here, fair value gap. It tapped in there and the filling it started moving on that way. But to be candid, we check out on the 4 hour time frame perspective, what you're going to see is a bit different. We're looking for more buy opportunity though. We're looking for more buy as the price is looking. We might just see more buy momentum. My projection for this last week was to see the price eating back into this zone before we have that bullish momentum. So the price has already got into where I was expecting it to get into, but I'm really expecting it to still sell further because right here, it looks more like we should be expecting more sell on this one. So I'm taking out the previous level, taking out the previous structure. Let me just have another zone just above here where we can actually see most likely wait to see the price reaction from. So this is still very possible that we see the price reacting off this zone, a little bit of buy momentum, though that's a low probability because actually I want this guy to actually sell before buying again. So with this, therefore, I think I'll just leave this guy to walk around what he has, and it's looking bearish actually. It's looking overall we're going to buy. Yeah, we know we're looking for buy overall, but currently on this we're looking bearish. So let's work with that perspective. Let's see what the price is holding for every one of us. And yes, if we have that intraday opportunity, the one is sitting just around here. We could be looking at this zone too for a good buy opportunity. So this is another opportunity here. Let me just mark it out. We could be looking forward to see the price hitting us right there too. So this is very possible. And that to the current market price is around how many pips in total? 60 pips in total, or 64. What did I mark here is the fair value gap zone. So depending on what you mark and what you see in the market, I'm going to work with clarity, regardless of what strategy. The price action is the most important. So try to stick with that plan. And then to talk about the next guy, which is the USD JPY. I told you about this last week that if you're looking for momentum on higher time frame perspective, we're going to be looking for a buy because it looks good for a buy. If you check it out on the daily time frame perspective, yeah, it's not looking bad. just that we have something similar to that of USD CAD. Buy for a long time. Currently, we broke the previous high structure, which was a noticeable one, and we've done that on Thursday, thereabout, on Tuesday, thereabout. Yeah. So far, so well. The stand on this right now is what exactly are we expecting to see on the USD JPY. I will just move straight to the 4-hour time frame perspective. There's no time. I want to see the price actually crash. Nothing else. I want to see the price actually crash down like really add into this level. If that's why it's really, why not? Then we should be expecting this one to happen too. But within an intraday opportunity, where exactly do we see the price crashing into before we pick up a buy again? Well, we could be seeing the price hitting this level, and this kind of short-term momentum has appeared now around 3 to 4 of these currency pairs within the intraday space. So, which looks more likely that if you see this on 15 minutes time frame, if you go to 15 minutes time frame to look for these levels, you might actually be seeing a good buy, which will give you a lesser risk management, which looks more like that. So we will be looking at that opportunity too. This is for our time frame. I would have loved to go to 15 minutes time frame, but I won't do that. I have so much things to talk about. So yeah, keep that straight. What I'm looking at here is very simple. Let me put a long shot on it. Let me put a long parameter on it so it looks clear. This is an intraday opportunity. I'm not sleeping on this one too. It's just a brief opportunity right there. And just below here is the stop loss level. The buy is just a little bit above here. And this is it here. And if you check, this is about 1:6, but that doesn't matter. Okay, please put it at the side. That doesn't count. It makes more sense, but it might not be sustainable. It depends on the setup we see, and we don't see setup every day. So don't get lost in 1:9, 1:50, 1:1 million. All right, USD CHF. My stand remains the same. This is so much healthy of a movement, and I'm not seeing that kind of quality explosive candle out of that range for a demand zone for my kind of setup. So from here to here, just movement, movement, movement. I will expect them to actually crash lower. This entire movement, 129 pips, is not much. By the time they crash about 220 pips, I think they should be within this range. Oh, 200 pips, right? 200 pips, around 200 pips, they should be within this range. So this is still my projection on USD CHF. It's taking more time, but it's okay. Let's then do what they have to do, and let me do what I have to do, as well as you do what you guys to do, because you don't have to lose your money in the market before you start saying markets moved in your intended direction, but you're out of the market. That is poor risk management. So ensure you elaborate well on it and you know exactly what you're risking. On this, I have nothing to say about £1 GPY. I think it's that time I remove it though. £1 AUD. I thought about this in class multiple times. We're looking for sell. The after inducement, they take out of this break your previous low after breaking, retest and move backward inside. I've thought about this. So this remains the same. Last week, this gave some significant profits, you remember. Last week, Sunday, we talked about it, and throughout that week, then it has done over 246 pips on £1 AUD alone. So far, so well. This is looking good, and I'm expecting it to still sell more, to do more about 200 pips into this range before we have a buy again. What I'm risking right there is not much. Also, this is about 1:8, and let's see how it goes. So that is on £1 AUD. Movement to £1 Canadian dollar. If you saw this last week, you should be clapping for me now. All right, so this moved well. We talked about this retracement. I talked about it earlier before it happened. And look at this retracement. It moved just into that range. And from that retracement zone, it gave that mighty sell, which was not much, but about 200 pips was not really small. And from that moment, which I got it price tapped into this level, it contacted to make another 70 pips on average for a buy, which is really fantastic. So projection on this, yeah, expecting more buy to continue. Buy. Let the buy continue. I want to see the price doing more. Okay, if I go to 1 hour time frame, probably I'm going to find a slot on it. But currently as it is, where do I see the price reacting from? Almost likely from this price level here. And that means we might be going a little bit above 130 pips before we see more bearish momentum, which is really fun. It's okay. So basically that's that on £1 Canadian dollar. Let's move to the next guy. This is good. I'm going to remove a lot of things here. Last week we tapped into this level. We contacted it for a buy and it was a good one. So should I take this out? Let me take this out. The daily time frame. Okay, let me just move to weekly time frame perspective. Okay. On the weekly, we've seen it that at the point we're expecting the price to break this low before we contact here. That's where we start buying from in the nearest future. On the daily time frame perspective, sorry, I hope I'm not too fast. If you're listening to me on 1.5, 2.0 speed, I guess you will be doing a lot of work But okay, I'm just trying to cover up a whole lot without taking so much time at the same time. I've done about 19 minutes now, so I'm trying to wrap up in the next 2, 3 minutes. Okay, so now SAUS dollar is good and it looks good on daily time frame perspective. Though we have range right in here, but then checking out on this on the 4 hour time frame perspective, we might be seeing something a little bit different from what we've seen so far. So well, so on the daily, we'll be looking at more buy before we sell off on the daily time frame. Because if we want to break that down, really, we still have a price zone here and we still have a price zone here because I've marked this out not just because of what the market is doing right now, because of what the market has been showing us to do. So that's why we have that zone. And look at this rejection so far. We have this high to tap out from, and from there we will have more insight. So daily time frame perspective, it is good for us to look for a buy over the sell. And of course, on 4 hour time frame too, looking at the opportunity we have here, market has really sold well. It has sold well, well, well. But honestly, we have a zone right here, not just my kind of zone, which the price has actually tapped around it. But then I think it will be clearer on the 1 hour time frame. So let me just go to 1 hour without wasting time. On 1 hour time frame, do we have any zone we're working with right here? Yes, we do. We do have a zone because I'm looking at different zones, right? The first one is just sitting above here where we have the price structure sitting like this. Then we have this momentum. So 1 hour time frame perspective, if I'm taking everything out of this chart, this is what I'll be having on 1 hour time frame perspective on gold US dollar. So I'll be creating something like this. This risk is a bit tight, just a little bit above here, and then looking for more sell right there. So 4 hour time frame perspective, I will show you how it looks like on it. But this is 1 hour time frame perspective. I want to see this entire low being taken out. So I'm marking that low right there. So this is just more or less like an intraday opportunity. If you think the price is actually going to move into this level, like you believe the price was going to create something like this as well, I'm coming. This thing is looking so rough now. If you think the price was going to create something like this and continue buying, yeah, I agree with you, but I want to see the price doing that too. Okay, but this is more of a better contest. We're sitting just around 50% of it, but we have more insight on higher time frame, what the price may likely do. So that's why we are not really trying to over risk it. We're trying to stay within the budget. Okay, so yeah, this is good, and this is what it looks like. Let's see how it pumps when the market opens. If we're going to be completing this entire range, or we actually want to buy a little bit above before selling. So let's see how that goes, and I'll keep updating this over the week. All right, now this is the BTC US dollar. What do we have here? It's incredible to see that it has been following our projection. I'll just go straight to the daily time frame without repetition. So right here, this is where I'm seeing the price getting into before we actually hang our boot for this buy. I'm seeing more buy to the price get in here on daily time frame, and that's about 73,000. So that alone is the higher time frame perspective thinking and trading. I have no words for this on the 4 hour time frame. I've said it all already. Looking for more buy till this level is completed, break above this previous level high, and take out of this entire bullish channel. Then I want to see price getting in here, then getting into this zone on the weekly time frame premium level before we start seeing more sales. So I'll just leave this way. It's looking good. And then silver, I've said it before now. This is where I'm still expecting it to move into. Give us more buy till we see the price get here. I'm going to sell off from this price level. The next zone is sitting just above it right here, which I'm just adjusting a little bit now. And then this might take a lot of time, a whole lot of time. But if we go to 1 hour time frame perspective, let's see if we have anything there. If we don't, fantastic, we move away. Okay. All right. 4 hour time on this 1 hour time frame perspective, we have a zone that seems good for a short-term buy in case the price actually move in there. Why? We have a rejection of that zone before now, and my time is almost now. This is it here. So we would love to see the price breaking out this previous level here. When it does, we want to see the price moving in and giving us that strong buy momentum. And if the price choose to buy before anything else, it makes more sense that in fact this level can actually be broken too, because I'm just saying this on 1 hour time frame too. This is another zone that looks good for a demand level. We can work with seeing the price moving in here. This level and this level, more like the price is going to, I think this is what it looks like. more like the price is going to smash this level to give us that momentum there. So I think this is what I'm seeing right here. I think this is what it looks like for me. Yeah. That's the projection. So let's see how the market goes with this. This is 1 hour time frame perspective on gold and on silver rather on silver. So 4 hour time frame is going to look just like this. All right. That is that for this week, ladies and gentlemen. If you are seeing this for the very first time, share, like, and then also comment and let's see what you're trading. Let's know what I need to add to this. Somehow I can just include your currency pair and analyze it in the next one. Okay. On the US 30, nothing is here. I just have to talk about it on weekly time frame. Do I have anything on it? No, absolutely no, nothing is here. Weekly time frame looks good. We're looking for more buy until price shift the entire structure here on 4 hour time frame. On daily, I've talked about it. That we have the price sitting just around here, and we have to see the price shifting below it before we have more sell momentum. Though we're still much in a bullish momentum right here, as an higher low creation. Until now, we're shifting to the lower side. We have lower highs and lower low creation. So if you go to lower time frame perspective, you're going to realize that currently we see the price doing exactly as we projected last week, break below here, retest, and we want to see more break to break this below here. And then that is where we are right now. So I'm taking this off. Let's go with what we have here without messing up the entire chart. And yeah, let's see how this week goes as well for this one. We might be having more sell momentum breaking below here. And that is that. On the next, okay. Fantastic. This is, I thought about this already. This was our projection last week, expecting the price to move from here. And if you check, you see that that was on 19th. There was that gap, right? Friday to Sunday night opening, and this was the level I gave out that we're looking for buy, and this was where my arrow stopped, which means I was expecting it to get there, but look at where they got into before they retrace. So it makes sense. Overall, what are we expecting? It can be both sides. Actually, it can be both sides on this one. If you check it out, we're done with this. It was a profitable one last week, anyways. So for this week, what are we checking? Really, I'm not seeing anything here. I'm taking this one out too. I'm taking this one out too. Right here, nothing, not more buy. Like we are going to see more buy, more like we see price creating something like this, then smashing above this level, then creating something like this. I think this is more like it. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing in the market. Let's see how the price reacts with that zone. It's going to make sense anyway, so I don't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm stopping for today. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and always comment. It makes more sense. Ask questions, trade with proper risk management. It's going to be a fantastic week, and I want you to be I want you to be among those that will take care of their portfolio, take care of their psychology before they jump in the market. It's going to be a fantastic week and a profitable one for you and I. Let's stay in touch and we see you again in class. Have a wonderful trading week ahead of you, and bye for now.